Welcome to Adam Home Cooking. Today we are preparing the natural or the original palm oil or Zomi. So I try to find a way of making us prepare our own Zomi so you know what you are eating. It's not going to be any color, food color or preservatives. So because I cannot get the palm nuts, I have the palm nut base, the one we use for soup from the African shop. So as you can see, this is Ghana base. Yeah, so I'm going to use this to prepare my Zomi. But if you are in a place where you can get the palm, you get the palm, boil it, let it cool down, pound this palm nuts. Pound it well, take the palm kernels out, and then you use the chaff. You rub the chaff for some time to get the grease or the fat from this palm nut. That's what we use to prepare the Zomi. But at the moment, because I can't get the palm nuts, I'm using this palm nut soup to get my Zomi. So you can get the under, the brown sauce that we normally have under the Zomi. I have my salt to taste, my ginger, I like it with the skin on, huintia. So this huintia, we need the flavor from this clove. So you just crush it with the head of your knife, or you use the tapoli. This is how we call the tapoli. You use it to heat this on your chopping board to get it flat. And onion, I'm not going to use all this onion. So let's go. So this is my palm nut. My water is already on fire. I'm going to empty this palm nut into my cooking pot in the hot water. I'm not going to boil this. I'm just going to leave this on. I'll show you. Oops. I'm not going to add all of it. I'll leave a bit of this too so I can get the shishi. Guys call it shishi, the underneath of the Zomi. When you buy it back home, you know we have the brown sauce underneath the Zomi. So I'm going to leave a little bit of the palm base. So I'll add that one to my cooking. So I'm just going to dissolve this in my hot water, and I will leave it on gently. As it's just about to boil, I'll use my ladle to scoop the foamy thing from the top, and that's going to be my Zomi. So this is the palm nut that I dissolve in hot water, and I leave it to settle gently on the cooker or on the stove. So I'm going to use my ladle to scoop the fat into my clean pot. That's what I'm going to use to prepare the Zomi. You see. Get a little bit of the water underneath. That's why we are going to boil it again. And you can still use the remaining stock to prepare your palm nut soup. So here we are. I've taken all the fat out. So this is what I'm going to cook to make my Zomi. And this is the remaining base, which you can still use for your palm nut soup, or you use it for nkatibe. Nkatibe is when you mix peanut butter with palm nuts to make soup. Peanut butter also contains oil. So you can set this aside and then mix it with a little peanut butter and use it to make your soup. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside and continue with my Zomi. So this is a little bit of the palm nuts, the one I took from the container or the tin. So I'm going to add this one. to get my shishin, or the underneath of the zomi. I'm going to cook this till all the oil is, till the water is dry up and I can just see the oil and the sauce underneath. Yes, we are preparing our own special zomi. I'm going to cook this, stirring continuously till all the excess water is dried up. Then I can add my spices and the salt to taste. So this is my zomi cooking. You leave it on a gentle heat. You can see the foaming already. You see? Wow. So why not try your own zomi at home? I can use my zomi for oto, egusi stew, kontomire stew, any stew at all of your choice. And I'm going to have this with my yokogari after. You see, the water is drying up now, so I'm going to add my my cloves. I'm adding only 2. Depending on the quantity of your oil, I'm adding only 2 here. And the ginger, this ginger is too big, just a little bit. Yeah, just to give it that nice flavor. These days it's hard to get proper zomi from the shop. Or even if you have it, you don't know how long it's been kept. So it's good you try your own at home. This is my asanka. I'm just going to crush ginger a little bit. I want it with the skin on. See, I'm just crushing it to get the flavor into my zomi. And also these small cloves. It's African spice as well. And my onion. Not a lot, just about this much of the onion is okay. You just leave it in. And then you stir occasionally. Please don't leave this, don't walk away from this. You need to stand by this and stir it occasionally. Now look, already this is how much palm oil I get from just one tin of palm base. At this stage I'm going to add salt, and the salt I'll just dissolve just half teaspoonful of salt in water. Stir it well and add 1 teaspoonful at a time so you don't make it salty. At this stage, make sure you turn down the heat. If not, this zomi can foam up and all your zomi go on the cooker. I make it salty, so I'm going to add just now. You can see it bubbling up. Look, I add just a teaspoonful of the salt solution. Now I'm going to taste it if it's tasty enough. If not, then I can add more. Because I don't want to make my zomi too salty. Add 1 more teaspoon of salt. Still cooking because I want that water to dry up, the salt solution to dry up. Our zomi is nearly ready. Turn the heat off, leave this to cool, and I'll store in my container and keep in a dry place. See, after it cools down, I'll show you the shishin, or the bottom, the brown sauce underneath. Now our Zomi is ready, and the underneath is settled down so nicely. Look, I'm just going to put this in my bowl. Just want to show you how the bottom, the sauce underneath. The sauce is also very nice, you know. After you prepare your stew and everything, you put a bit of the bottom on top of it. It's very tasty. I can smell it already. Look, I'm going to have this now with my yoko gari. Look at the bottom of it. The bottom alone is a sauce on its own, you know. So this Zomi is going in my yoko gari now. Look. Now add a little bit of gari. And I also like to add a bit of the bottom, the sauce, the underneath. Look. Adom home cooking special Zomi. I hope you try this at home. Enjoy.